official that we're going to, next year and many years beyond, we're going to be the host of the state championships for boys and girls volleyball at Polk State College, boys and girls weightlifting at RP Funding Center, as well as our traditional staple of boys and girls basketball at the RP Funding Center. So we are excited to have those 6 state championships event right here in Central Florida, right in Polk County. It was a lot of work, but it goes back to the prosperity, of you said, of the partnerships that we have is our community, our school system, and all these different entities coming together to bring the highest of caliber events that high school sports has to offer to Polk County. It's a tremendous thing. It's been a lot of work, and it's going to be a lot of work to do those, but I think it's important to showcase Polk County and what our county has to offer in relation to sports and other things. I'm super excited that those events are here. Our parents that, you think about weightlifting, it was in the Panhandle at a high school. I went there last year. It took me 7 hours from my house in Winter Haven to get to the state weightlifting finals. And the opportunity to be able to host boys and girls weightlifting in RP Funding Center, along with all the other sports, and we're not done. I mean, I think we're not satisfied of what we've accomplished in a short amount of time with those 6 premier events in Polk County. We still want more, but we're excited to be able to talk about it and officially say we are the host of the FHA state championships for volleyball, weightlifting, and basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Obviously, we were able to finally share the news.
One of the things here in Polk County that we truly benefit from is we have very robust systems and programs in place. I'm proud of the fact that as a school district, we've actually expanded opportunities for students into what some would call non-traditional sports. We have e-gaming now, and that's growing, and we're adding that to additional campuses every year until we get it to all of our high school and middle school campuses. So the fact that we're willing to be innovative, we're willing to go outside the box and create opportunities for all students. But within our athletics programs, there is a sense of pride and commitment to our students first, to ensure that they're academically successful. I love the fact that our coaches hold our students accountable, both on and off the field. They create an atmosphere where they wrap around our students to provide tutoring and mentoring. But again, I think the sincerity in which we approach athletics and the fact that we support so many different sports for all of our students so that we can cover all their interests and bases, but also for all genders. So we try to approach that equitably, and I'm proud of the fact that Polk County was way ahead of where I would have been in my last district, and it's just something to continue to show the evolution of. Very proud of the fact, and Mr. Talbot brought forward several recommendations this year to add additional sports that we did not previously currently have, boys volleyball, bowling, those types of things. And so I think that speaks volumes of our school district and our commitment to provide equitable opportunities for all of our kids.
Many of you know, except for you millennials and Zers, know who Johnny Carson is. Okay, he's the modern day, or he was the years ago Jay Leno, and I don't know who the heck it is now, somebody. Anyway, Johnny Carson did a shot where there was 2 skiers laying on their back holding handles, and he stood on top of them, the human skis, and Dersh was one of those skiers. And I know Brad was around at the time too. Brad,
I was 25 at that time, yeah.
I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, I know.
And, it's hard to believe, okay, when you look over here and you see the professional in the white shirt and the tie and all this type of stuff. This guy's a superstar skier. And was the best Corky the Clown that Cypress Gardens has ever seen. And entertained millions throughout the world. And Brad, coming in, you're the new president of the Cypress Gardens ski team, separate and distinct from the professional group of years ago. What is that like for you? To go from a pro superstar, now you're the head of the organization. That's got to be an honor.
Well, it's an honor, and it's an interesting experience because, it's all volunteers. So there's a whole lot different considerations at the time. We have families, of course, that are members and contribute greatly to the show. And so it's a lot different setup than what we had at Cypress Gardens for many years. And I guess I was at Cypress Gardens for about 18 years. And It's just very different. We get to interact with the crowd a little bit more. The kind of venue we have now, we have a great setup on Lake Silver there, and it's been an honor and kind of a challenge.
One of the questions that we have been posing, and then we produce them, Dersh was on it once, and one of the questions, there's two questions, 2 for 22. One is, what is the 100th anniversary of water skiing mean to you personally? And secondly, your most memorable moment in water skiing. For the second question, most memorable moment, what would that be?
Was that going? Are you're going to go first on that one, right?
No, I did. Mine's
He
already
can't remember
recorded.
that far.
Most memorable moment in water skiing? Gosh, I don't know. I think maybe some of the stunt boat driving we did in correlation with the Johnny Carson show and some other shows.
Okay.
We got to travel a good bit. You and I were in Jordan, right next to. In fact, we were in Jordan around the time there was some peace talks going between Jordan and Egypt at the time.
Yep.
And we got to ski with the king, so that was an interesting time. And some of the travel we've done, and I guess away from Cypress Gardens. I mean, we were in Scandinavia for a good while, a couple summers.
That was my favorite road show to date.
Yeah, that was. Gonna get into that.
There must be a backstory there.
Yeah, there is. But anyway, it is very different. It's a challenge, but yeah. As far as it's hard to pick out one particular moment among them all, quite frankly.
Yeah, I've said to say there's thousands of memories and impressive moments and stuff. Dersh, how about you?
Well, when Buster McCalla monitored my tryout at Cypress Gardens, and he reported to the show director that there was a possibility that this 17-year-old kid from Milton, Pennsylvania, who hitchhiked to follow his application to Cypress Gardens could possibly become a skier, that was a magic moment. I skied around the show circle on shoe skis. I jumped from the wrong side of the jump. I wrapped up for a helicopter, turned upside down. You'd have thought I was doing a gainer, but I really didn't know how to do a helicopter. But anyway, I got a positive grade on my tryout at Cypress Gardens, and I'm still around.
That's amazing.
So one of the great things is you're from a football family. So tell us a little bit about your dad, your brothers. This is quite a story.
So we are a football family. So I got it honestly. I think it's in our blood. My dad was a high school, college coach for 58 years. Just retired at the age of 80. And I think he still wants to do it. I think he misses it. So
Probably graduated the same time you did.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he got back in it. But I grew up around the football field, being a ball boy and watching him coach and doing things like that. So it's just something I was naturally drawn to. And I have 3 older brothers. I'm the baby. And one of my older brothers is the assistant general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just took that job this year. He'd been with the San Francisco 49ers for 15 years. So he's down here in Florida with us now, which is exciting. I have another brother that's been coaching at Army, West Point, for over 20 years now. So it definitely is a football family. And, when I came out of college, I thought about doing some other things. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to try this football thing for a little bit, see how I like it. And 20 years later, here I am.
Here you are.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. So this coming season, your first as head coach. It's familiar, but it's unfamiliar as the head coach. What are your expectations?
The expectations for the program are to win the conference championship and get back in the playoffs. That's what we'd really like to do. We have a lot of work to do before we get to that point. The team is way different than it was last year. We lost some to graduation, we lost some to transfers, and about half of our team is brand new faces. So we have a lot of new talent, but it's young and inexperienced. So it's going to be a journey, and there's going to be some adversity along the way, like there is in any football season. But I think the kids are doing a good job of working and listening to their coaches, and I think we have a potential to have a good football team before it's all said and done.
We got off to a slow start. We were playing a different system at the time with a back 3 system, but we made the decision early on that we were going to change the way that we were going to play. So as a coaching staff, we've come together. We've lost our opening conference game. Having said that, prior to that, we'd had a huge win against West Florida on the road, which is historically a team that nobody beats on the road. In fact, they're currently in the NCAAs right now playing in the Sweet 16. The magnitude of that result, I think, gave us confidence. Even though we had lost, as you said, the opening conference game of the season to Nova, we'd played in a way that was fairly competitive. But we made big changes after that. We made changes to the way that we played, the way that we sort of went about our training. And in the end, it sort of proved to be the right decision because we went on, as you said, an incredible run.
Yeah, obviously an incredible season. Doesn't go by the wayside in regards to talent. Obviously yourself, Coach of the Year. Congratulations there on that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
What, in regards to players, what players, this year kind of made this year happen, and those players that were really the forefront of carrying the season?
There's so many to mention, but when I think about the impact that our Division I transfers had, I mean, that has to be go on record as saying that was really impactful to our program. Historically, we've not really had Division I transfers, but I think that the world of recruitment has changed in many ways. And if you look at Morgan Colliker, who was Defensive Player of the Year coming in from Ohio University, Lindsey Meyer coming in from Northern Kentucky University, these were really impactful players for us that had significant roles to play. And then on top of that, Morgan Elliott coming in from Stony Brook University had a nice little cameo as well. But the players that were within the system, Tatum, Brooke Lowry, Caitlin Lowry, the twins, they all had massive seasons for us. And it was almost this idea of bringing in Division I transfers. The players that were within the system had now grown into their roles and were starting to peak. And then the injection of the younger players, Madison Mayle, Malia from Hawaii, which is an unusual recruitment area for us, but Malia's come in and done absolutely fantastic, and Jordan King at right back as well. So it was an interesting mix of players that had the right balance, and everything worked out at the right time. So I think it's one of those sort of magical seasons which is hard to pinpoint, but a lot of things went right for us at the time.
So I'm going to call you out on something.
Yeah.
You were talking about Kentucky and Ohio. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Did you really get it through Drew Howard to expense a family trip to Hawaii in a recruitment? Is
There's
that
no
what I heard?
way. Yeah, there's no way. That Malia fell on our doorstep, and we profited from that. But we recruit everywhere, and that's the way that women's soccer is these days.
And you guys are in the playoffs right now.
We are actually we made it all the way to the finals. So
yeah,
we're heading to San Diego right now as we speak.
You're heading to. Are you following the team?
No, I'm here. I had to do this interview. I couldn't miss this.
Priorities, cost benefit, right?
That's right. That's
So-
an expensive ticket out there, too.
There you go.
That's an expensive ticket. Well, BJ, obviously, first and foremost, from both of us and the team over at Polk County Sports Marketing, congratulations on making it this far and representing Polk County, in the finals. Tremendous accomplishment for the team. It seems like every year building blocks, right? And you're getting pieces, putting them together. There's a heavy investment on the ownership side. Talk a little bit about coming out of COVID, how much this season has meant to the community, to the team, and how the community has rallied around you during this playoff run.
I tell you what, our sponsors and our partners, as well as the community leaders, our fans, have been amazing this year coming out after COVID. They want to be out. They're getting out. And I said, our finals on a Monday night with FCATs the next day, as well as competitive tryouts. We had nearly 1,500 people in the arena, and we had the mayor. It was just the support we've had from our community this year is just amazing. And it's really heartfelt, and I appreciated it. When I left that night, it felt like I'd accomplished something. We didn't get the results in the game that night, but we stand for our club, our community. We are the Tropics, and that's what's posted in our lobby, and that's what we could feel the excitement in the community on Monday night, and it was just amazing.
We're really excited about working with the Bartow Airport. It's a cooperation thing. We're on about 25 acres of concrete and asphalt, and it's really it's a beautiful place. Yeah. They've got that nice terminal there, They got a museum inside and everything, and that's a nice place to see. There's a lot of history with Bartow Executive Airport, so we're glad to be there. We hope we're going to be there for a long time. we've got a lot of stuff coming up for that day. It's going to be, boy, I'll tell you, we've had some good response on it. You know, we appreciate you guys bringing us on and help us spread the word to the community, because we need more in the community, more events, get the people out and get past this. Everybody keeps saying COVID, so we need to get past all that. And we've been doing really well. We have a great governor that is helping us move that way in direction, and our commissioners and all. You know, I want to give a shout out to them, because they're the ones that are help pushing us towards that revenue and stuff, you know, because our communities, so a lot of people suffering. So we just want to get out there and do more.
It's hard to believe we're about 3 weeks into the second half of our season now, and the team's doing well. It's very young, so we've got the youngest team in the Florida State League. So we've got a lot of young talent. 2 high school draft picks from last year's draft, Jackson Jobe and Isaac Pacheco, playing at 19 at our league. Just a lot of young, exciting talent that is on the cusp of moving up, and you're probably talking about, you know, guys that are contribute to the Tigers team in Detroit in, you know, the next few years, which is exciting. And you mentioned off the field, you know, our job, right, is to provide that affordable family fun, and we've kind of, you know, always been safe, but we've promoted that a little bit more, not only safety and, you know, feeling secure inside the ballpark, but also as we've gone through, you know, the COVID world and adjusting and becoming more contactless and cashless and more efficient, I think. So we're excited. You know, we put more effort into, you know, what we do off the field, right, with the, you know, we got 2 fireworks shows, you know, coming up on Saturday, August 20th and September 4th. We've got a couple Bark in the Park nights. We've got a first responder night coming up next week. So we're excited about that, you know. And then, you know, the weekly promotions and specials that have been a staple out at the ballpark.
Thursday Thursday
We've
still?
got Thursday Thursday still in there just for you. Every time we talk in a meeting about, do we need to keep this going? We say, well, I'm going to be seeing Mark Jackson, so I got to tell him this is still going. So, but, you know, Sunday brunch, right? And you know, Mark, you know, we appreciate the, you know, partnerships and relationships we have in the community. You know, certainly Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, the Board of County Commissioners, the Tourist Development Council, the City of Lakeland. You know, when we made those improvements at a Publix field, you know, back in 2017, the enhancements with air-conditioned space, covered space, you know, the pavilion space, right? Covered, shade, and air conditioning is really what we need. You know, you can talk, I think that we're almost at the end of July. It's supposed to be one of the hottest Julys on record. If we don't have those spaces, it's quiet out there. But Sunday brunches, we sell out for 200 people up in our club area on a game day. To have, you know, all-you-can-eat brunch with your game ticket. We do nights up there in the 34 club. So to have that space and what our partners provided us out at Publix Field is a world-class entertainment facility and venue right here in Polk County and the city of Lakeland.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.